Lesson number 15 is one where I'm going to ask you guys to use your imagination, because I didn't bring all the equipment to do it because it would need to be done outside, and I didn't want to go outside for this activity. So I'm going to ask you to use your imagination. What I would do for this lesson is we'd go outside, and the first thing we'd do is we'd say, I'd put a line on the ground using a rope or tape or a board or something, and say, let's find out how far everybody can jump. And give everybody a chance to jump. If you have young kids, let them run and jump, be as excited as they want. If you have older kids, you probably want to make them do a standing broad jump, because you don't want the jump to be farther than you can deal with during this lesson. So you want to control the jump distance. All right, so once you've discerned how far they can jump, and hopefully it's under 10 feet, because that's handy for this lesson. If they go farther than 10 feet, you got to be prepared for that. Then you're going to draw a line on the other end of the jump that is farther than anybody is capable of jumping. Go 2 feet farther than anybody has demonstrated that they can jump. Put another line in the sand, and then say, this side is life on earth, and that side is entry into heaven. And then in between, take a pack of flour and just kind of scatter some flour on the ground so that there's no way to walk between this line and that line without getting flour on you. And then say, okay, the goal for everybody now is to jump. You can't go around, you have to jump, get into heaven, and don't get any flour on you. And flour is going to represent sin. Can any of us get there without having any sin on us? And then you let them jump. They're all going to, somewhere or another, get a step into the flour. You'll be on them. You're on the other end. You say, oh, you got flour on you, can't enter heaven. Send them back, and they can try a couple times. It's fun. Everybody gets the point that you can't, that's too far. Can't jump and be clean when you get there under your own power. And then you say, well, that's a pretty bad situation, right? None of us have the ability to get into heaven clean. But the scripture says this in 1 Peter 3:18. You want to break open 1 Peter 3:18 real quick? Just spread the scripture reading around a little. 1 Peter 3:18.
For Christ also suffered once for sins, the righteous for the unrighteous, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, who made alive in the spirit, in which he went and proclaimed to the spirits of wisdom. Sorry, I wrote more than I was supposed to.
So read it again.
For Christ also suffered once for sins, the righteous for the unrighteous, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but made alive in the spirit.
So Christ suffered so that he could bring us to God, so that he could make a way for us to get to heaven. So this is where you break out your prefabricated wooden cross that is long enough to stretch from this line to that line. That's why I said you want to kind of limit it to under 10 feet so that you can have a 10-foot board and it be long enough. Otherwise, you're going to have to invest in a bigger board. I didn't bring a 10-foot board. I brought a symbolic board, and I turned it into a cross by putting a cross beam in there and putting a nail in it. So for transportation purposes, I just use one nail, twist it around. Now you got a cross, and you can lay the cross out on the ground. And now invite everybody to cross over from this side to that side without getting any flour on it. And it's kind of fun. It's a little bit of a balance beam, but most of the kids, I think, are up to it. And you give them a couple tries if they mess up the first time. And then you say, look, that is the whole point. The scripture says that no one comes to the Father except through Jesus. Jesus made a way so that he could bring us across and have us be clean when we got there. And that's the power of the cross. And that's the lesson for family lesson number 15. Fun, outside, requires a little wood. If you don't have a saw at home, Home Depot will cut things for you if you want to invest in a little plywood, 2x4s for the purpose of training your kids. That's it.